All rise.
This is Deeper Than Money. Talk to me.
I want viewers watching my show to believe in themselves.
Judge Hatchett is compelling.
If he is not going to honor you, he needs to be gone.
Compassionate.
I don't want you to give up on your dreams. I don't. And I want to figure out how we get this straight.
She's powerful.
If I were in this situation, I would have put you out too.
And she's on the bench.
I feel like I'm being judged here.
That's what I do.
You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. Demetria Johnson is suing Roxanne King in the amount of $600. Ms. Johnson claims the stylist she hired to do her prom braids kept her waiting for over an hour and says she got her hair done elsewhere and she wants her deposit back.
Hi, you're in my courtroom suing Roxanne for some $600.
Hi.
And you're saying that it just created such havoc on the day of your prom. Is that correct?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
So tell me what happened.
Well, I just graduated high school. It was my only opportunity to go to my senior prom, and this woman right here who I'm suing today for $600 was supposed to be my hairstylist. She never made it to the appointment in enough time for me to get my hair done and make it to all of the other scheduled appointments I had that day. It was very important to me, and I had been planning this for so long. My entire senior year was dedicated to this moment, and she acted like she didn't care, and I didn't get my deposit back.
So what time was your appointment?
My appointment was scheduled for 11 a.m.
And what time were you there? What time did you arrive?
Actually, I arrived early because I knew that it was potential that things happen, right? So I was already there in advance at 10:45.
10:45. What time did you get there, Roxanne?
I arrived at 12:30.
What? Wait a minute, 12:30?
Yes.
For an 11 o'clock appointment. And why?
The reason why I was late, I had a previous hair appointment at 9 a.m. and stated in my rules, if she read them like she said she did, I allow myself a 2-hour grace period.
What? A 2-hour grace period?
Yes.
So you're telling me that if I book an appointment to get my hair done with you, and that you give me an appointment for 11 o'clock, that I have to sit there potentially until 1 o'clock under your rules? What kind of rules are those?
The only reason why I have these rules in place because, one, I like to plan the unexpected. A lot of things happen that I can't plan for sometimes. Sometimes the client's hair she could be too tender-headed, or there could also be traffic. I haven't had any problem, and I expressed that with a lot of my clients. They never had any problem with that as well. This is the first time I've ever had this happen before.
So what do your rules say, and how does
Yes.
she know that those were the rules?
There's a portion on my Instagram profile that shows some hairstyles that I've done, and then close to the end, it also shows my rules as well. And I have them right here if you would
Let
like
me
to
see those, please.
She talked about close to the end.
All right, so
You said you
Demetria,
read them.
why did you even book with her? Was she recommended? How did you even know about her?
Yes, Judge. Actually, my friend, who is a real hairstylist, recommended her. So I went to her Instagram, and her work looked really good. I give her that. So I DM'd her immediately and was like, this is the style I want. And I actually have a picture.
Please,
So
I want to see.
I wanted to get human hair knotless braids. Not knotless, it's actually called stitch braids, but it
What
uses
kind of braids?
stitch.
Okay, so these are stitch braids?
Yes, and you see little pieces, those are called boho, and they use human hair. So first of all, a lot of people don't do this style in the first place. I wanted something unique, and I got red hair in particular to add into my natural hair so that it would match my and my date's outfit for a prom.
Wow, this is intense. So this is your specialty. This is what you do. This
Yes.
is what you're known for.
And I'm
right?
very neat and I'm very quick with that hairstyle as well. And I
Okay, so
told her
now,
that.
if you were expecting an appointment at 11 o'clock, right? What else was your day? You told me you had other things lined up.
Yes, and I expressed to her that I had a very strict schedule that entire day. She reassured me multiple times, even saying like, I think I have the text messages here. She said, and I quote, "I got you, girl, don't worry."
So You paid $200 in a deposit.
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the total cost going to be?
So in total, because not only did I have to give her the $200 deposit, her another requirement in that long Instagram story she mentioned, it was at the end, about 50 slides.
You said
it also said that I had to provide my own hair.
Okay, and did you?
Yes, I bought the red hair that I have with me today.
All right, show me. What is this? Okay.
This is human hair because I do suffer from, it's called ACD, it's contact dermatitis, and I can't do stitch braids or any other braids to my head with synthetic hair. It's not good for my skin at all. I break out, and I wanted to have a good time tonight. Like, I wasn't trying to do all of that.
So let me ask you, you have two things of hair. So the burgundy hair you just showed me, what's the other? What is this?
So this is the original hair that I bought to get serviced by this hairstylist right here, Roxanne.
All right.
And this is the second bundle of hair, which doubled my expenses for getting my hair done that day because I had to go to my other friend and rush that appointment. So I had to buy more hair and get a new appointment in like seconds.
Okay, so now, Roxanne, you have her $200 deposit.
Yes.
Did you refund the $200 deposit?
I did not because
Why?
she left during the 2-hour grace period.
Oh, mercy.
Coming up on The Verdict with Judge Hatchett.
I have done stitch braids before, and it hasn't taken me that long. So I knew I could have got her done in 2 hours.
So why didn't you get the previous person done sooner? Ha-ha.
And later,
and they found that the motherboard and the graphics card inside had liquid corrosion from like a sugary drink. I'm assuming from like a soda or a beer from the party he threw.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. The Verdict with Judge Hatchett is back with the case of Demetria Johnson, who is suing Roxanne King for breach of contract.
Now, how do we get to $600? Explain to me. So we have the $200 deposit that she has.
Your Honor, this is real human hair and it's dyed. That's $300 out of my pocket like that. So already I'm at $500. With the expenses with that, and I had to go drive to the beauty supply store one more time and try to get an exchange. That didn't work out. I had to buy another bundle of hair. So I think I deserve at least $100 reimbursement for buying the hair that she never used on me. And I had to rush and find somebody new.
Roxanne, do you not feel any responsibility for making any adjustment to this?
Personally, your judge, no, because if she would have stayed, I would have had her out before her next appointment. We would have been done by 2:15, 2:30.
You know that's not true.
Yes, we would have. If you would have
You
stayed.
told me
All
in
right,
2
stop,
hours.
Stop, both of you stop. How much time did you allow that it would take to do this? I mean,
could've
this is
done-
not quick.
I could have done that hairstyle in 2 hours or less.
Maybe you overbooked.
I'm constantly booked, which is true. But again, all of my clients know that I allow myself that 2-hour grace period just in case something does happen. And in this case, something did happen.
All right, first of all, I'm going to rule on this. The fact that you put this in an Instagram post, you're saying that you're covered, that you're saying, due to evolving braiding schedules, I am allotted a 2-hour grace period to transition between appointments. What that says to me, if you're reading it literally, is that you got 2 hours to get to someplace in traffic. That's not what happened. Your earlier appointment took much longer than you thought, and you could not make the 11 o'clock appointment. You said that she texted you. You texted her about your schedule, and she responded, "I've got you." Do you have that?
Yes.
Let me see that. All right. She gives you a step-by-step of everything that she has to do that day.
Even if we did start at 12:30, 2 hours, you would have been done no
Unacceptable.
later than 2:30.
Unprofessional.
That is not my fault that you
But you know what?
decided.
You're contradicting yourself. Let me tell you why, and I'm going to rule on this case. You're contradicting yourself because you said, I can absolutely be done. In other words, you're now saying, I can absolutely be done in 2 hours, but you earlier said, you never know what's going to happen. Things can take longer. That's a contradiction. You can't say, well, I give myself this grace period because I never know what's going to happen. things can take longer. Your previous client took longer than you had anticipated. You can't stand here in my courtroom and say, well, Judge, I know that I could have gotten it done in 2 hours. You see the contradiction in the two?
I have done stitch braids before, and it hasn't taken me that long. So I knew I could have got her done in 2 hours.
So why didn't you get the previous person done sooner? Ha-ha.
She was unfortunately, a lot tender-headed, and then I also got stuck in traffic. I was not expecting what happened on a highway to happen, and I was communicating that with her.
Can we return this hair? Is this returnable with
No,
your receipt?
ma'am.
You can't take it back to the
tried.
store with your receipt and say, hey, I don't need it anymore?
No, I have both receipts right here too. They wouldn't, and they're the same price for both.
All right. Roxanne, can you buy this hair? Can you use this hair for somebody else? I mean, you've got other clients. Can you just, come on, work with me on this.
I personally don't use other clients' hair on someone else's head just because I don't know what they could be possibly allergic to.
But you let the clients
That's
buy
why-
their own hair.
That's why I
And
let
don't
y'all
do their
buy
hair.
it in
Okay.
case you're allergic to what I buy. So yes, I let my clients buy their own hair.
You got it, you got it.
So there's no way you can sell this, help her get rid of this hair, nothing you can do.
I doubt anyone's gonna try and buy that hair from me just because, again, I don't know what they're allergic to.
Roxanne, you're gonna have to give up some money. Now, we're gonna try to be reasonable about this. But let me start with the $200. $200 deposit I'm awarding back. I'm stuck on this hair situation, though.
Your
All right,
Honor.
I'm gonna award the plaintiff $500 under these circumstances. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. I don't think that the two-hour situation was reasonable under the circumstances. She gave you explicit directions about what you need to do that day. I'm sorry, but this is what it is. You're gonna pay the plaintiff $500. That's my judgment. We'll stand adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Hatchett has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $500.
Any final words for each other? All right, gather our documents, gather your hair. Let's exit to the rear of the court.
Coming up,
Since when did it become my responsibility to be watching over all your possessions? If it was that important to you, why didn't you keep it in your room?
you're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. Derek Lee is suing Morgan Hawk in the amount of $650. Mr. Lee claims liquid was spilled on his prized gaming computer after his roommate threw a party, and says Mr. Hawk refused to cover the expensive repairs.
Hi, I read the complaint, and Derek, you are here suing your roommate for some $650.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And that you're saying that it was his responsibility that some equipment that you had was damaged. Tell me what happened.
Yeah, so Morgan and I are former college roommates. We always had a great relationship. We had an understanding of respecting each other's belongings. But spring break, March of 2024, I went out to my hometown in California, and I left my gaming PC at the apartment, and I verbally told Morgan to please take care of it, don't let anyone get near it, and I absolutely can't break it at all. So where I put this PC is in the shared living room. The reason why I put it there is because I don't have air conditioning in my room. So that's why I opted to put it out there.
Oh, so what happened?
What happened was when I came back from my spring break a week later, I tried to boot up my computer and no lights, no fans, nothing was turning on. And so as a result, I took it to the technician, and they found that the motherboard and the graphics card inside had liquid corrosion from like a sugary drink. I'm assuming from like a soda or a beer from the party he threw.
So you had a party while
did.
he was gone,
Yes.
and what happened?
I had 3 people over. We were having some drinks. We were playing some beer pong. And the next morning when I was cleaning, I found a small puddle on the desk next to it, which I did clean the next morning. So
And you are honest. You're saying, listen, the next morning I noticed some liquid on the desk where it was.
Coming up,
The room that you're in has to be somewhat comfortable because you wouldn't be able to live in it. So if you as a human being can be there, why can't the computer be there?
you're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. The Verdict with Judge Hatchett is back with the case of Derek Lee, who is suing Morgan Hawk for property damage.
So now you take it, and can it be repaired? Tell me what happened.
So I took it to the technician. He quoted me an estimate of $650 for both cost and labor. I have the estimate here if you'd like to see it.
I'd like to see that.
All right. Of course, Your Honor. And of course, I showed this estimate to my roommate, Morgan. He refused to pay it, and so obviously I had no choice but to apply for a credit card and pay it off myself.
And so what's your position about this, Morgan? Talk to me.
I used to live in this apartment before Derek even arrived.
Right.
So I used to have roommates that allowed me to have friends over, have gatherings over. But when Derek moved in with his computer and it found its way into our living room, immediately it became, who's coming over? I don't want to have anybody over because I don't want to have my equipment damaged. But since when did it become my responsibility to be watching over all your possessions? If it was that important to you, why didn't you keep it in your room?
I just wanted some communication. If he had told me that he was going to throw a party, I would have moved my setup into my bedroom since I wasn't going to use it anyways.
If I was going to tell you that I was going to throw a party.
Well, wait a minute. That's really, I'm sitting here just baffled by all of this because I'm thinking that really, why not just move it? But you've told me that it's in the living room area because of the air conditioning. But surely the room that you're in has to be somewhat comfortable because you wouldn't be able to live in it if it were unbearably hot. So if you as a human being can be there, why can't the computer be there, particularly if you're leaving town for spring break? Why not just move it into your room?
Judge Hatchett's verdict when we return. You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett.
Hypothetically, if he had said, hey, you know what? You're going to be away from spring break. I'm not going to be able to go and travel, but I'm going to have some friends in. What would you have done?
I would have moved this in my bedroom, or I would have bought a plastic covering, a waterproof covering, to wrap it around while I was gone so that I could ensure its safety.
Do you feel any responsibility for this?
Yes, I feel bad. I feel bad about your computer. But I just don't really get how I should be the one paying for it. Maybe you should have had insurance if it's your baby.
Right. You know, I mean, listen, it's unfortunate. It is absolutely unfortunate. But you know, the truth is, you didn't have to be on notice. He didn't have to ask you for permission to have this party. I'm sorry it happened, but I am not, under these circumstances, I'm not going to order him to pay the $650. I'm sorry this happened, but that is the order of the court. Your case has been dismissed, and we will stand adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Hatchett has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case has been dismissed.
Just don't let this happen again in the future to your future friends.
I think my future friends won't be so obsessive over their belongings and shared spaces.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.